Speaking of leverage,
yes,
you do think that the cash pile that's growing as a result of all this is someone's leverage.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's true that time is on the side of the actors and the writers, but short term, they have just handed the studios a multi-billion-dollar present. I mean, Netflix said they estimated about $1.5 billion in savings through the end of the year, an additional cash flow, which really means reduction in costs. Some others haven't really estimated it, but certainly Disney's going to be in the same ballpark. Warner was saying in the last quarter it's about $100 million. It's going to be more by the end of the year. They don't, Wall Street was saying you're overspending, you're spending too much on content, and suddenly, that arms race is over thanks to the strike.
Yeah, great excuse to cut costs.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
at some point they're going to need content.
Well, of course.
So when does that run out?
At some point they need to, and this is one of they must be watching very closely because it'll show when people start stopping their streaming subscriptions because there's nothing new on there to see. And so far, we're not really seeing that. There's like a flattening in subscriber growth, but I haven't heard of anyone saying, "Oh, there's no fresh material, so I'm going to cut." But as the months go on, as I said, time is definitely going to be on their side. On the other hand, like Iger said this week for Disney that they have got to cut costs. They've got to come up with a business model in which streaming makes sense. And if the revenue isn't going to grow that dramatically, you've got to cut costs. So they said they're going to make far fewer films, and they're going to cut costs on the films, which means fewer writers and actors are going to get employed, and they're going to make less money. I don't know how you get around that.
So when do you think the pain flips? When do you think it really becomes an issue for the studios instead?
It's heating up, I think, right now. I mean, I think that's why they're back at the table. And these are very tricky issues to negotiate. But I would say another month, they're going to start looking at serious damage to the holiday season. And that is big. You need that new material coming out, the excitement of that. I think that's going to put significant pressure on the studios to come up with a deal.
But how do they deal with issues? The streaming models is one thing, and then AI is a whole other can of worms.
They're both incredibly difficult issues. The so-called back end of the compensation model collapsed with streaming. The studios now own these materials. It's not the producer who owns them and then relicenses them and they get reruns. So there are no real residuals as there were in the old days. So how do you then calculate if it's a hit? I mean, the way writers and actors get compensated if something is a hit is they get hired for the next project, and they get a big raise for that. So it's not like they don't get any recognition it's a hit, but measuring that on a streaming platform and how much of the revenue is due to that, I think people have really had trouble getting their heads around that formula.
Diller made a great point a couple of months ago, and that is that the marginal players in this particular cycle, namely Apple and Amazon, these costs are they immaterial? If not, they're close to immaterial. They have infinite patience on this kind of thing, right? That's
true. I mean, they have, this is a tiny, fragment of their overall revenue stream. On the other hand, they don't want to be seen as the Darth Vader, to use a movie analogy, of the industry. So I think they do have some incentive. But again, the financial pressure right now that the writers and the actors have is pretty limited. I mean, the time to strike, in my view, is when things are good, when times are good, when the people you want to get more money out of are flush, and they're like bumping up against a Wall Street that is really intolerant of losses in the streaming sector right now. It's a really tough situation I think they're in.
You mentioned Iger, and as someone who wrote the book on Disney, I'm curious what you make of now that we have another quarter of progress. He's got a long to-do list, and there's some still pretty big strategic questions here.
Huge.
Whether you have confidence or you think investors should have confidence that he can do it.
Well, he's up against the same, structural issues that everybody faces, and which is, the rapidly declining, revenues and profits from linear television, the ongoing struggle to make streaming profitable. There's so many uncertainties. I mean, he said, we don't really know this pricing demand model here. They really raised the price, and they're going to see how that affects demand, but they don't really know. I mean, they're feeling their way through this. So there's so much uncertainty in that model and whether it's ever really going to work.
I don't know if you've seen the reported increases in streaming fees for the NFL. We're talking 40, 50% increases, as sports will be ostensibly all we have at some point.
Sports is the talk of Hollywood. When I was there earlier this year, and it's all anybody wanted to talk about was these sports rights, because everybody has decided that the key to keeping viewers in a streaming service is live sports. that that's the one thing they will not, drop their subscription, because there's always a new one coming up. So the biggest test will be the NBA rights, which are coming up. The negotiations are going to start pretty soon. That involves Disney, Warner, the Turner, cable channels, and that number, and supposedly the Apples, the Amazons are, and then not to mention NBC, are all licking their chops trying to get their hands on that. So I think sports rights are just going to keep soaring.